I'm Brian Christner, and this is The Byte, a bite-sized podcast about containers, cloud, and tech.
1, 2, 3, and go. Welcome back to The Byte. In this episode, I am going to catch everyone up and tell everyone what's been happening the last few weeks that I've been in radio silence mode. And I must apologize, but just a lot has been going on, and finally I'm getting back to a normal routine again. First, we had our first Systems Summit, or Säntis Summit. So we actually had a summit on the summit, believe it or not. Here in Switzerland, up at the top of a mountain, we had about 35 people arrive. And this summit was around the open source instruction set architecture, ISA, around RISC-V. And it's a CPU architecture and how we can actually open source this and bring more value and more technology to the CPU space. It's not a topic that I'm very deep in, to be honest, but I learned a ton, met some really interesting people. People are doing some amazing things in this space, and it's really nice because, typically I would not have signed up to such a conference, but having attended it, I've learned a ton, and I met some nice acquaintances, and now I'm really involved in the topic, and I want to learn more. So I'll post some links there so you can see what exactly it was. And kind of a recap on the beautiful adventure we took. So we went there by train from Zurich, took a bus up into the mountains, and it's just a gorgeous day, beautiful location, right at the base of a nice, beautiful mountain called Säntis. We had the summit at this hotel and went great, learned a ton, but at the end of the summit, we all jumped in a gondola and we went to the top of the mountain, and we had a surprise tour arranged to visit the radio antenna at the top of the tower, or at the top of the mountain. Really cool experience, and we came down, we had dinner, and we kind of recapped the whole day. It was an unconference style, so people brought their own topics, presented their own interests. So it was quite interesting because, people had some really interesting topics, and it was kind of free-flowing, which was really kind of an interesting concept. And the feedback was great. People loved it. They're already talking about coming back for next year, and it was a lot of fun to organize. My colleague Dara actually did most of the organizing, but it was a fun event. In the meantime, we've hired a couple people. We've had 2 new joiners in our company, so we've been growing. Percentage-wise, huge, but it's kind of a fun adventure at the same time, and we have a lot of cool projects coming up as well. On the technical side, I've been playing a lot more with Traefik, so using it both for a couple of projects as well as kind of documenting what I've been doing. So just this week, I finally put together all the material, what we're doing. So basically, deploy, configure, and monitor Traefik with Prometheus and Grafana. And this project is actually just walking through how to enable metrics in Traefik and then monitor this with Grafana and Prometheus. Kind of an interesting setup because, most of it's already out there, but I kind of made a starter. So how do you deploy it with Docker Swarm, everything enabled, and then deploy Prometheus and Grafana in the same boot. What also is I auto-provision the data sources in Grafana as well as, dashboards to get up and started. So it walks you through, what is all the different concepts, what the flags mean, how to enable the metrics in Traefik. So minus metrics enables the metrics. The minus metrics.prometheus.buckets tells Traefik exactly what type of metrics you want enabled, in this case Prometheus, and then what kind of time series buckets do you want. And then we go through, how the provisioning works and standing it up. Now, I also did a online meetup with Traefik on this. So there's a YouTube video, walking through the whole concept, how I actually stand up the stack, configure things, add new additional web apps to the stack, and I put the slides out there as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I have quite some backlog and shows I want to catch up on and present some technologies I've come across the last few weeks. And I'm really interested to get everyone back up to speed of what's going on in the tech world, container world, cloud world, and just what's going on in general out there. There's a lot of crazy things going on. And at the same time, one of the previous shows I did, about Firefox, about, running containers in Firefox. Since then, I've been a convert. I've converted completely Firefox on my phone, my laptop, everything. Completely happy. There's some performance lag I've noticed between Chrome, but I feel a bit better knowing that, my data is a little bit more secure. There's also a new feature that just came out as DNS over HTTPS, which I want to go into in another episode. So it's how to secure your DNS queries that your ISP can't even see. This is kind of circumventing some laws in some countries, which is quite interesting. But at the same time, it gives you more privacy. So it's, a catch-22 there. But it's an interesting concept, and I want to explore it more, enable it, and kind of walk everybody through. So that's where I've been. I hope everyone's doing well. Went for a mountain bike recently. Last weekend, got 3 flat tires, 1 in my car, 2 on my bicycle. But it was all adventure, right? It was all part of the adventure. And I hope everyone having the same type of experience. You hit some flat tires in the road, but we're still making progress. We're still moving forward. That's all for this episode. Thank you so much for being patient with me, getting back up to speed, and stay tuned. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, so I have some nice shows planned, and we'll be talking soon. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Byte. You can find the show notes at thebyte.io and follow me on Twitter at I Do My Own Tricks.